blackberry brandy, and cherry Dr. Pepper. Cheers. That's pretty tasty. Well, this night video is going to be a little bit more depressing than usual because I'm talking about some local news. Well, a couple months back, there was an individual by the name of Joey Peterson. And, well, he was only a kid. He was only 16, but he's also autistic. And a couple months back, during the colder months of Wyoming's winter, he literally wandered out of his house in the middle of a snowstorm and he got lost. And he went missing and they were looking for him, and they finally found him. The coroner, the Natrona County coroner announced it was his body that they found. And the sad truth of it is, he was found buried in the snow 4 miles past his home. So this glass I raise to Joey Peterson. Condolences to his family and friends. May he rest in peace. He was a fellow autistic and a Casper local. He was only 16 when he passed away. Could you imagine? I feel genuinely bad for his parents, especially. I can't begin to imagine what that's like. Could you? Well, I'm making this video not just for Joey, but for everyone. When winter hits, wear the appropriate clothing. If it's too windy and too blizzardy outside, it can wait. You know, it's very easy to get lost in a snowstorm, believe it or not. Even if you're not walking, even if you're driving, which will help to some degree, but doesn't matter if you're walking or driving, it's very easy to get lost in a snowstorm. So if there's a snowstorm outside, then it can wait. 9 times out of 10, it can wait until the storm dies down. Because believe you and me, you don't want to get lost in a winter storm like that. I found this out the other day from a friend of mine who told me that she heard it on the news about Joey's passing, and well, when she told me, I was kind of bummed out, to be honest. I was hoping that they would find him alive and he'd be safely returned to his family. But unfortunately, he tripped and fell in the snow, and then I guess he lost consciousness for just long enough to get buried in the snow. Could you imagine what it's like to go through something like that? I genuinely feel bad for not only his family, but any friends he might have had. Drinking some blackberry brandy mixed with some cherry Dr. Pepper. And I gotta say, this combination is pretty delicious. Mm. Having a bit of a nightcap before I pass out. So, especially with the winter weather, stay warm out there. You know, thankfully, spring is just right around the corner. And for the next 5 to 6, for the next 5 to 6 months, we're gonna have nothing but warm weather. Which I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest fan of winter. I'm. Ugh. So I especially try to stay warm when I can. I don't have a car. All I have is a bike for pedaling around town. And when I can't ride my bike in the wintertime, I'm usually walking. And here's the thing of it, YouTube, and I'm being serious. Okay? If there's a winter storm outside and visibility is shit, if visibility is shit and you can't see very far ahead of yourself, then it can wait. Whatever you need to leave the house for, you know. Even if it's cigarettes and booze, which, you know, I would understand if you have to leave your house for those things. But, if people are driving out in the snowstorm, visibility is shit, and you're crossing the streets, it's very easy to get hit by a car walking around town in or during a winter storm because there might be ice on the road, so if the car goes to stop, it might like slip and slide. So yeah. Like I can't even begin to imagine, dude. I really can't. Mm. Excuse me. Now, when I was 16, I couldn't even comprehend death, let alone passing away myself. Yeah, Joey Peterson had his whole life ahead of him, and unfortunately, his life was snuffed out by the snow. Like I said, he went wandering. He went wandering away from his home during a snowstorm. He got lost in the snow, and they found him several months later. Unfortunately, he had succumbed to the elements. And, yeah. This isn't the first time we've had people who froze to death in Casper because of how nasty the winter gets. You know what I'm saying? We've had several people literally freeze to death because of how because of how nasty the weather gets. Fortunately enough, we had a very dry winter this year. Although we did get a couple of nasty snow days. So just remember, YouTube. You think you're having a bad day. Just remember, it always could be worse. And could you imagine? Could you imagine, YouTube? One of your loved ones goes missing. You know, what Joey Peterson's family is going through right now, I would not wish upon anyone, to be quite honest. And well, that's the sad fact of life is we get those moments like that. You know, two things I have learned from this experience. One, it's taught me to appreciate life a little bit more, you know. That never seems to fail to happen, especially when, someone much, much younger than you passes away. You're just like, whoa, you know. You get a sense of how fragile life is when someone much, much younger than you passes away. And two, it's also taught me to stay warm in the winter, you know. If you have to go somewhere and it's snowing like crazy outside and it's cold as outside, wear plenty of layers. What I like to do, this is just me personally, but one second. One thing I like to do if I have to walk during a snowy day or a blizzard of some sort, is bundle up. I know I'm repeating myself, but hear me out, okay? If you have underwear on, you got your pants and your socks on, put a layer of pajama bottoms over your actual pants. I might get a couple of strange looks from people when I'm walking around town during the winter time, but at least I know I'm warm. I mean, right now, you know, I'm wearing my pajama bottoms because it's bedtime and I'm passing the fuck out. It's like 3 o'clock in the fucking morning. Which I did not mean to stay up that late, but I was at a friend's house drinking and then I passed out and woke up at like 1:42 and I was like, oh boy. And like I said, this is why I don't let my trolls get to me. I try not to, just because it could be worse. Now, even if you have like a sweatshirt that zips up with a hood, and then you have 2 to 3 coats on top of that, you know, 3 to 4 light coats versus not having one, you know. And if you have any winter coats that you do not wear, if you do not wear it, let's say you have a couple extra winter coats laying around that you don't wear or use. If you have a winter coat, if you have a winter coat you don't wear or use, donate it to Goodwill, because I guarantee you there's someone out there who will use it and who needs it. I'm serious, YouTube. If you have any winter coats that you don't wear, donate them to Goodwill, you know. You ever try walking outside when it's really cold out? Now, walking outside in the middle of winter sucks. You know? Well, and this is my final thought right here on this subject. But if you're trying to stay warm during the winter, eat plenty of spicy food. Not only does eating spicy food help boost your immune system, but I guarantee it'll keep you warm during the winter months. There's been times I'd walk to a friend's house in the middle of winter and it could be like 20 degrees outside and snowing, but if I eat plenty of spicy food, it warms me up, you know, on top of having the layers. Also, taking a couple shots of whiskey every now and then, or some sort of alcohol. Yeah. I don't imagine too many states still have snow as it is April. But if you're still experiencing snowfall in April, that QuickTime Player decided to glitch. But if you're still experiencing snowfall in April, stay warm. Or at least try to. Anyways, YouTube, Thank you for watching my night video. And like I said, rest in peace, Joey Peterson. He was a Casper local, only 16 years old. He had autism. Anyways, YouTube. Thank you for watching. And I'll catch you later.